you care so much about other individuals living their lives? What is affecting you? Do you have something up your ass or something?
Well, I could throw that right back at you. Why do you care so much about what I have to say?
Because you're affecting other people's rights. You're taking away people's choices. You are hurting people. Read the Constitution.
What rights am I taking away exactly?
You're trying to take away gender-affirming care for individuals. You are affecting abortion rights. You are hurting people.
Got it. So what is a woman?
What is a woman? It's what people identify as. It's a gender. Sex is different. Sex is different from gender.
So can anyone be a woman?
Yes.
At what point do you know you're looking at a woman?
Doesn't matter when you are looking at a woman. You don't have to look at a woman and immediately tell. Can you tell looking at a baby what gender they are without looking at their privates? Tell me that.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. What about that baby is different?
But hold on. By the time they're 6 months old, you could actually tell a young boy tends to gravitate more towards balls and remotes.
That's because of gender affirming. That is convincing individuals at a young age. You are socializing, putting them in situations where they want certain different things. Let's look at... Thank you. So, let's say you were a little kid and your parents taught you to like pink. Let's actually look back in time. Pink actually used to be a male color instead of blue. Actually, in the 1920s.
So you say that I'm here to take people's rights away.
Yes.
That is your main contention.
Yes, because you are affecting the LGBT. You are affecting women's rights. If I was pregnant, oh wait, let's go back to this. Abortion is anything. If I had a cyst on my uterus, that would be considered an abortion.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Look at anything that is evolving the uterus.
Well, no. In order for it to be an abortion, it must be a human life.
No. Anything that is evolving the uterus and you have to get rid of it, it is considered abortion.
No, that's
yes,
not how that's not how it works. So again, you say I'm here to take rights away.
Yes.
Do you agree life is a right?
I feel like if it's a clump of cells, then it's not alive.
No, but let's go back. Do you think every human being has a right to life?
Depending on how many weeks, but let's
hold on. Who's trying to take rights away? I want to protect the rights of all human beings. You call them a clump of cells. Who's trying to take rights away exactly?
Your Honor, Jeffrey Nyman on behalf of the Kirk family. I've been very hesitant to speak up at these proceedings. We understand it's the state, the defense, and the judge. You're all doing your job. But I feel as if we need to. I want to be clear as to what the Kirk's family's position is on all of this. The Kirk family believes strongly that if the evidence is being admitted in this preliminary hearing, it should be made public for the world to see. No redactions. This court has tools at its disposal to make sure the defendant receives a fair trial. You'll use them if you find that you need to. That's it, Your Honor. To not be transparent here, to not be open, to not let the world see what happened, will create doubt and distrust in the judicial system. And that's not what anybody wants. That's not what any of us believe should happen here. And we'd ask the court to consider the position of the family in making its ultimate decision.
Up to the top where I saw that empty holster. When I saw that empty holster is when things start slowing down for me a little bit. All the case.
Now, something interesting. Just let's watch the second one, you understand, so that we can understand a bit of what we.
I either asked it badly or you misunderstood me. So let me go back again.
So from the time that the individual that you spotted on the video jumped off the roof, right? The individual that you thought was in the prone position.
Okay.
Between that and when you got on the roof, did you ever check to see if anybody else had been on the roof in that period of time?
Yeah, and I didn't see anybody.
So you
I
did
didn't
watch?
notice anybody. Yeah.
You didn't. Did you look on the video to see that entire? Okay, that's what I'm asking. So you did not review the video to see if there was someone between you, that individual jumping off, and you coming on, if anybody had been on or disturbed that scene in any way? Okay.
Jeez.
But once you put the tape up, then we're confident from that point on the scene was preserved, right? By the way, where did you get that tape?
Officers responded on the scene that he was down on the bottom and threw it up to me, so.
Okay. So you didn't have it on you?
No.
And you didn't leave the scene to go get it?
No.
Someone threw it up?
Yes.
Great.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
Insane.
All right.
Wow. Wow.
While you were on the roof, did you encounter any spent casings?
As a matter of fact, no, that's why when I saw the prone position where a person would be laying down as a sniper, being around guns and snipers all the time, I was looking for a spent shell casing. I couldn't see one. I was looking over the edge, looking all over the place, making sure the gravel wasn't disturbed, and I couldn't find a shell casing at that moment.
And that would be, the reason you would be looking for that was because some types of guns.
Okay, it's just the thing is, so we don't waste time on this. Yesterday, what happened? Yesterday was one of the biggest days in Charlie Kirk assassination case. So this is to guide us and so we can understand what is happening. So the court held a preliminary hearing and the prosecutor began revealing some of the evidence they believe connect the 23-year-old Tyler Robinson to the assassination. Now remember, this is not the trial. The judge is simply deciding whether there is enough, whether there is enough, whether there is enough, okay, whether there is enough evidence for this case to move to the full trial. So in preliminary cases, what happens is that they just come to know if this case is enough, like the evidence you have against this individual is enough to push this case to trial. You understand? And if the evidence are not enough, the case will not go to trial. Do you get the point? Yes, the case will not go to trial and the case can be dismissed. So at this point, you have to really prove that this case is worth going to trial. So this video was from the very day when the incident happened, right? So we're going to watch this video from someone that witnessed what happened that day.
I just witnessed Charlie Kirk get assassinated. It was the most awful thing I've ever seen in my life. He shot him in the neck and blood went everywhere. And the worst part of it all was the liberals who were there were cheering. So I just have one thing to say. If you identify yourself with the Liberal Party, it's okay. You can believe what you want to believe. But if you identify yourselves with those people who were cheering and someone just got killed, I just hope you can take a look at yourself and think, is this who I really want to be? Because that is disgusting.
Okay, this is one of the witnesses. So let's see another person that was at the event of that, the incident exactly, right? Let's play.
I saw him. I was standing from probably the third row in the bottom. I saw him. I heard the shot ring out. I looked to my left and then I looked over to my right. I saw him slump over in his chair forward. He slumped over. He had blood coming from the left side of his neck down his shirt, and he slumped over and he turned off.
Very terrible. Very inhumane. Very inhumane. Very inhumane. You can imagine. You can imagine what is happening, right? This is exactly the issue. There are a lot of people that are happy with this incident. A lot of people are happy with the death of Charlie Kirk. A lot of people are happy that he was on. Like some people go ahead and say he deserves what he gets. It's because someone is being outspoken. Someone is saying his mind. But okay, let me take you back to so that you can understand what is happening before we come to this court case. Charlie Kirk was shot and killed on September 10, 2025, while attending a Turning Point USA event at Utah Valley University. So I don't have the footage here, but the footage is everywhere, and I'm not, because of policy, I don't want to post it, right? So at that event, the crowd were everywhere, and then police began what we call immediately launch a manhunt after the shooting, right? I'm taking you behind what has happened so we can, this is the backstory. So later, authority later arrested 23 years old Tyler Robinson, an electrical apprentice from the Utah University, right? He was charged with aggravated murder, one of the most serious cases under Utah law. Because of the nature of the allegation, the prosecution are seeking to keep the death penalty as a possible sentence if he is convicted. So at this time of this case, this guy is not found guilty. He's still an accused, okay? So everyone is a suspect until found guilty. So that is the backstory. What happened in court? Like I said, this hearing wasn't about deciding guilt or innocent. Instead, prosecutor had one job, which is what? To show show enough evidence to the courts. Like, it's just to show enough evidence to the judge that the case should proceed to trial. So this is just what they are looking for. Okay, we have evidence, evidence, evidence. And for this reason, we are trying to make sure that this case is being taken from here to trial, right? So that is all the judge is asking from them. And that is the essence why this preliminary hearing, this preliminary hearing is happening now. The hearing is so that we can prove that this guy is guilty, right? So moving on, let's play this thing. This was an incident that happened. Like, this is an information we just received of the entire
maroon colored
thing that
t-shirt,
happened, right? So
with,
let's watch it.
Grey or olive colored shorts and then Converse shoes.
And what time did he return to campus?
Just after 10 a.m.
And does he leave the parking structure eventually?
He does, yes.
Okay. And during this visit, do you know where he goes after he leaves the parking structure? He's noticeably wearing different clothing.
He is wearing different clothing, and he also is walking with a gait or a limp in this video.
With a gait or what?
A limp.
Okay.
Kind of rolls over the railing onto the roof of the Losi building.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
And again, in the top left corner, the individual is now seen running across the rooftop of the Losi building.
Do you see Mr. Robinson now?
I do, yes. He's just arriving at the corner of the building, almost the top center of the image. Lowering and jumping off of the roof of the Losi building onto the grass area, and then moving away towards Campus Drive.
That's a vehicle that's believed to belong to Mr. Robinson arriving in the parking garage on campus. What time? What time of day?
It's approximately 8:30 in the morning on September 10th, 2025.
Prosecutors in court played a compilation video that they say shows Tyler Robinson on the UVU campus 4 times on the day that Charlie Kirk was shot and killed. Now, the first, Robinson's car allegedly arriving at about 8:30 in the morning. Take a listen.
And what leads you to believe that this particular vehicle belongs to Mr. Robinson?
Information that was provided regards to driver's license and Department of Motor Vehicle records. The vehicle fits the description of a vehicle owned by Mr. Robinson.
Apparently Robinson got something to eat at Chick-fil-A, at some point changed outfits from shorts to long pants, and was also walking with a limp at one point. We're told that he returned to the campus about 11:53 a.m. At 12:22, was shown lying prone on the roof with a line of sight to where Charlie Kirk was sitting. 12:23, shot fired. Then the video, they say,
These are compilations of a video that is showing Robinson allegedly saying that he had the rifle planted inside his on his pants. Get the point? So that's what this video is saying.
Shows Tyler Robinson running back across the roof, jumping off that roof and fleeing north. This is all evidence that the prosecution is putting before a judge who will decide if there is probable cause, if there's enough evidence for Tyler Robinson, 23 years old, to be put on trial for the killing of Charlie Kirk. The prosecution has already said that they will be seeking the death penalty.
They are seeking a death penalty. This is what they are asking for. So the evidence before us is that, one, what is the evidence before us? The evidence is saying that the prosecution showed the surveillance footage, which is the one that I just compiled. That's the evidence one. And what are they showing it for? It says, according to them, the footage shows Robinson vehicle arriving near the event multiple times. This is him scouting, trying to understand the best possible action he can take, allegedly, right? So they also claim the video shows someone accessing the rooftop before shooting. Okay, now this is one key piece of evidence they supports their timeline. Do you understand? So this is the evidence they have to support that timeline that, oh, this guy is not who we say he is. And so this guy actually is responsible for this murder. And for that reason, we are seeking a death penalty. So, evidence 2. The prosecution discussed forensic evidence. According to investigator, DNA recovered from item connected to the alleged sniper. You understand? It was connected to the sniper's position. Some of them say that, oh, they found some screwdrivers in the position where he was laying on that roof. This, that. A lot of things were found there. His footprints were found on that roof. Okay. So those are the evidence they believe they saw. Right? So to the alleged sniper position, including Tobe wrapped around the rifle. They believe they saw it there. The tools found at the scene matches Tyler Robinson. And this is because they believe if those informations can be tendered to court, the court will accept it as evidence, right? Next thing, if accepted by the court, this would be one of the strongest piece of physical evidence. That's what they need, right? So evidence 3, the prosecutor also referred to text messages and online communication, which I'll be showing us the online communication, right? So just follow me. So according to investigator, those messages suggest planning. They suggest that this guy actually planned this thing. It is not just, okay, this, that. They believe he planned it. It was an orchestrated disaster, planning before the shooting. So prosecutor also argued that this communication demonstrates the intent and the premeditation. Because when these things like this happen, there are certain things you have to put in place before you can charge someone for anything, like as high as an aggravated murder. One of the things you have to put in place is that, is there an intent? Is there the tool? There are 3 things for you to know if this person is guilty or not, right? I don't really remember them, but one of them is intent and premeditation. It is that the motion. Do you have a reason? Do you have a reason why you want to do this thing? So for the fact that they believe that this guy has actually premeditated on this event, he has planned it, he surely will be trying to do this thing. It says, Robinson, this is from BBC News, right? Saying, drop what you are doing, look under my keyboard. What? You joking, right? I'm still okay, my love, but I am stuck in Orem. I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I come home. Okay, it shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I die of old age. I'm sorry to involve you. Now, it is said that this roommate has been given what's it called now? He has been given a waiver whereby he will not be included in whatever crime this guy is facing, because he will not be included in whatever crime the Robinson is facing. So he has gotten a pardon. That's the word. So it's being said that the roommate was given a pardon in case whatever goes wrong, in case Robinson is charged for murder, he will not be an accessory or someone in connection with the murder case. So the roommate's like, oh, you weren't the one who did it, right? I am. I'm sorry. So this is Robinson claiming that he was the one who killed or made that issue. I'm sorry. I thought they caught the person. No, they grabbed some old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. No, they grabbed some old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle, premeditated. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of the town got locked down. It's quiet, almost everyone to get out, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. Why? Why did I do it? Is that a question you're asking me? Yes, why? Then he said, I had enough of his hatred. Some hates can't be negotiated out. Bro, see, this is why I keep saying this. It is enough for you to have your own opinion. It is enough for me to have my own opinion. What makes us human is that we must not all accept your opinion. And that's just what makes us human. The beauty of being human is that This person opinion is different from my opinion. I'm going to accept it either ways. Okay, stay with your belief. I stay with my belief. That is what complements us. Someone comes up, they don't have to hate you. That they don't like what you believe doesn't mean they hate you. They don't like what you stand for doesn't mean they hate you. It also means that you also don't like what they stand for. Learning how to, if you cannot stay with someone or listen to someone that doesn't, you don't like what they believe or what they stand for, you move away. That's how life is. You move away. That is the beauty. Everybody must not like you. If everybody likes you, it becomes a problem. Now let's read on. I had enough of his hatred. I had enough of his hatred. Some hates can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have no evidence. Going to attempt, going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully, they have moved on. I haven't seen anyone about any. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. Okay, so how long have you been planning this? A week, a bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to test it. I am wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. I am worried that my old man would do it if I didn't bring back grandpa's rifle. I don't know what this. So if it had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about print. I had to leave it in a bush where I changed outfit. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have abandoned it and hope they don't find prints. How will I explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Only thing. I remember evidence found in the beginning that they found a towel at the rooftop where he made that shooting, right? So let's quickly finish it. Then Robinson said, delete. This is trying to conceal evidence. He says, delete this exchange. My dad wants photos of the rifle. He says, grandpa wants to know who has what the Fed released who has what? The Fed released a photo of the rifle and it's very unique. He's calling me right now, not answering. Since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty die-hard MAGA. So our dad, so this is trying to say Robinson's father is a MAGA. And coming days we'll post videos on MAGA, right? Has been pretty diehard fan. I'm gonna turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy of the sheriff. You are all worried about love. I'm much worried about you. Don't talk to the media, please. Don't take any interviews or make any comment. If any police asks you question, ask for a lawyer and stay quiet. He says evidence 4. One of Robin's roommates also became part of this investigation. That's the evidence 4. And according to him, the prosecution says statement and digital conversation from the roommates help support their timeline of events. So what are the prosecution saying, right? What are they saying, right? So first thing first, what the prosecution is saying, because what they are saying will determine how this case will go forward, right? Because they are really prosecuting this guy and say, oh, for this case, if he's found guilty, we want the full weight of the law, which is a death penalty. Now, what are they saying? The prosecution believe this was not a random act, right? Their argue is that 1, the shooting was planned. Robinson prepared beforehand. 2, the rooftop position was intentionally chosen. He has scanned through the area and he believed that that was what was happening. 3, the evidence from surveillance, the evidence from surveillance, DNA, and digital messages all point towards premeditation. Okay. 4, so they also argue that firing into a crowded political event places many other people at risk. And this is my point. If he had misfired, that would have caused a misfired bullet and probably would have killed someone else. And that was a credible risk, a great risk. There's a lot of count on this guy, a lot of count, not just on murder, a lot of count. So prosecutors are saying this is exactly our problem. And that argument is important because it supports the aggravated murder charge and makes the death penalty legally available if there is eventually a conviction. Death penalty. If there is a conviction. Next.
Being around guns and snipers all the time, I was looking for a spent shell casing. I couldn't see one. I was looking over the edge, looking all over the place, making sure the gravel wasn't disturbed, and I couldn't find a shell casing at that moment.
And that would be, the reason you would be looking for that was because some types of guns, when they shoot, eject a casing automatically, right? Some
Yes.
do, some don't.
Yes.
All right. And then you also didn't find any unshot bullets.
No.
Okay. Are you aware of there being a bullet found on another roof in
I'm
the
not aware.
vicinity?
Jeez.
Were you aware of another bullet being found on the scene, not on the roof of the Losi building?
No.
All right, your body cam footage that I reviewed appears to end while you're still on the roof. Do you know why that is?
I think the battery went dead. It was just right at that.
So for every prosecution, there must be a defense. Someone must surely defend you. Someone must defend you. Someone must come out and say, oh, I don't believe that my bro should be charged for this. I don't believe he should be charged for this. So what are the defense saying? So the defense is saying they question whether some of the roommate statements should even be used, right? Because we're in the era of AI, because that conversation can be an edited conversation. It might not be real, it might not be tangible. So if the evidence will be charged, then they need to track the message where it's coming from, at the time it's coming from, the geography of the message when it was sent, the IP address of the message when it was sent. You have to connect those dots, right? Two, they challenge the DNA evidence, arguing there are questions about how the forensic evidence was handled and interpreted. Three, they argued that intense media attention surrounding the case could make it harder for Robinson to receive a fair trial. So their goal right now is to challenge the prosecution evidence and protect Robinson's legal rights before trial. That is just their goal. Their goal is to make sure that we make sure that these guys' evidence, the evidence they have against Robinson, are not tangible and are not admissible. So the defense is not required to prove Robinson is innocent at this stage. That's not what they are doing. Their only duty now is to just make sure they can challenge that evidence beyond reasonable doubt that it is not correct. So what happened next, right? The judge has not decided whether Tyler Robinson is guilty. That decision can only happen at full trial if the case eventually moves to full trial, right? Moves forward. So at now, what is happening now? That's the goal. The judge's current job is much narrower. Is there enough evidence called probable cause? Is there enough evidence called probable cause to send this case to trial? That's a question mark. To send this case to a trial, is there a probable cause? Is there a cause to send this case to trial? So the next thing is, if the judge answer is yes, Robinson will face a jury in a future trial where all evidence will be examined for a much greater details. And when he's found guilty, or if he's found guilty, it's a death penalty.